Alright, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing another Walking Dead video for you guys for today, leading up to the third episode for The Walking Dead Season 8. Spoiler warning. In this one, we're going to give our thoughts on whether or not we think that Xavier Morales was there during the Season 7 lineup. And this one came in from Chris R, but a few other people had kind of asked something, similar, and just kind of wanted to give our thoughts on this one, whether or not we think that Morales, as part of the Saviors, was actually there in Season 7 during the lineup sequence. So Chris said, what if Morales was there at Rick's lineup? It also is kind of cool to think about if Morales knew it was Rick Grimes when Negan told his people about the bounty for him. So yeah, this one is kind of cool, and it kind of expands a little bit on the whole Morales returning type of thing as part of the Saviors. I would think if I was to say, so the Season 7 lineup is the Season 7 premiere, Episode 1, where Negan lines everybody up, and smashes Abraham and Glenn in brutal fashion, right, in front of everybody. So the question, of course, becomes, was he there to see that? Was he somewhere in the background, this kind of thing? Now, of course, the actor, as we know, behind the scenes was not there, so far as we know. So that didn't happen. So I think it would make most sense to say that probably not. He probably wasn't there. And even though Negan had called out quite a few of the Saviors to kind of rally Rick and the group and kind of get them into the section where they kind of fenced them off, so to speak, and brought them all in, you would have had to have people in your different outposts and your different locations still kind of running the ship, so to speak, still keeping things going. And my interpretation would be that Morales is one of those guys that where, he's at a certain outpost with a certain group, and the best explanation for it is we just didn't happen to see him during the events so far. If you look at the Saviors and you think, okay, maybe they had over 100 members before this whole war thing started, or before Rick and the others kind of came into their story and kind of met them, you could probably figure that Negan and the Saviors were over 100 people. And they have different groups. You have Gavin's group, you have Simon's group, you have the group that was originally at the satellite outpost that Rick and the others cleaned out in Season 6. Very exciting as well. So you have all these different groups in different spots. We're even seeing some new ones now too. There was Mar, and there was Regina, did you say her name was? So you have a lot of different groups of Saviors, and it's just kind of hard to keep track of everybody, to be honest. But we can assume, I think, that Negan wouldn't call everybody out, absolutely every single person, for a group of people that might be a dozen or 2 dozen large, because he's got hundreds. It brings in other questions as well too, like how long has Morales been with the Saviors? When did he originally join the Saviors or become part of it? Is it something fairly recent, or is it longer? I tend to think longer based on how he's acting in the sneak peek, and I would tend to think that no, he probably was not there during the lineup. Makes the most sense. Next one we have came in from Secrett Knight, who says, Q&A, Trev, do you think that Morales' family is dead, or do you think that they are with the Saviors? So, from what we can see so far, it looks to me most likely like his family is all dead. Now, this is something that I had first kind of proposed in the video, maybe in Season 3, Season 4. I think it was around Season 4, because I've been doing videos, kind of theory videos about Morales for like 7 years now. So a long time. Maybe even earlier, maybe like Season 1. I don't even remember. That's how long ago it really was. But like I said in one of those earlier videos, I remember specifically saying that I don't think it would make sense that his, wife and son and daughter would still be alive. It seems to me most likely like going out there by himself when he leaves in Season 1 to head away from Rick and Shane and the others and where they're going off. He goes towards Alabama, and they go towards CDC, Fort Benning type of range. That they get, they totally split ways. But it seems like Morales doesn't really have, if you're going to take like a pistol with a box, full of ammunition, you probably don't have enough resources to keep your family safe on the road trying to go from here to here. As we've seen, even with our group in larger numbers, there are a lot of factors out there in the zombie apocalypse that are difficult to traverse, difficult to survive. If you look at the season 2 premiere with Sophia, they get down under the cars. I really love that one because what lies ahead, because this is the kind of stuff you would run into, and when you have kids around, not everybody's going to be like Carl, where they're going to be able to kind of keep it cool, keep their mouth shut and hide if they have to, and kind of be silent. There's definitely going to be some kids that are just going to freak out, like, for example, Sam from Alexandria. Cookie Sam, right? So, and like a lot of the kids too, some of them are just, they're not going to be able to handle it for one reason or another. Maybe you get some like Lizzie, but, with his family, it would seem to me going off on his own by himself like that on the road with just a gun and that, you probably don't have the resources you're going to need to keep them safe, to keep the three of them safe 100% by yourself. And, of course, we've seen all these characters over the years die, so many of them, that I don't think it makes sense that anybody from Morales' family is still alive except for him. I think that unless he's met someone and they've had, like you have, Judith is born after the zombie apocalypse kind of, occurs, unless he meets someone and, has offspring or baby that way, there's pretty much no way I would think that his family would have even made it out of probably the first couple seasons. They were probably dead around the end of season 2 to season 3 range. If you consider Rick and the others' path, if you look at Morales' path and his family, I would think they probably wouldn't make it very long. They probably wouldn't have survived that time frame. So it is surprising even that he was #not dead, which is fun. But it's great to see as well too. And I do think that it makes sense that he could make it, but that his family probably wouldn't. If you look at Rick as well too, Lori and all the different, like Andrea and her sister, and you think of the season 1 characters, there's very few, I think, that actually pull through. Morales is one that was able to, with fan support, yes. So, it's a little bit of plot armor from the fans and a little bit of luck, and here he is. He's still alive. So he was able to pull through, but I don't think his family would have. I could be wrong. Maybe we'll see. We'll go into the next episode, and all of a sudden, he'll have his wife there or something, or I don't know. But I would tend to think that probably not, and there's probably not too many kids like Carl and Enid that are going to be able to keep a cool head and stay nice and quiet when they're out there in the world and not just get freaked out and piss themselves or something like Sam did. So that's what it is. poohbearwithme, I like that name, that's funny, says, Q&A, what do you think is going to happen to baby Gracie? So thank you guys for clarifying this one. I had to watch the episode again and kind of get it through. You guys got to understand, I do my reviews right after the episode airs, and that's by design. That's on purpose. People say, Trev, why don't you wait a while? And then, because that's not what you guys want. You guys want me to do them right away, even if there's some things that I'm a little fuzzy on. I got to watch again to kind of get the understanding. So the baby was not Morales. It was the other guy that Rick had killed. You can see the tattoo and that kind of stuff. So that kind of adds to the weight of what Rick did with that kill, because basically he kills this guy who is kind of protecting his baby. So it's and it's like a mirror situation. Rick looks in the mirror, he sees himself, and what has he become? Mirror, mirror on the wall. It's kind of a tragic scene. It's a very dark scene that what Rick and the others have to do here. But it makes sense, and I would think that after this, depending on what happens here, that if Rick is to leave with Morales, that they would take the baby with them. I'd like to see Morales switch sides, but it's just from the sneak peek, I'm not sure it's going to happen. So we're going to have to see, man. Maybe Rick can somehow fight his way out and Morales can run away or something, or we'll just see. I really hope they don't, kill Morales, have Rick, counter him and kill him off in 1 week or something. Because it's he just got back here. After all these years, they're just going to kill him off right away. But no, if they do that, I'm at least happy that he's had some time back. So, but with the baby, I would think Rick would take it with him, or take her. Is it her? He take the baby with him. Gracie, girl. Because of, of course, him being in the same situation with Judith, and him would not want someone to do so. either way, it's kind of tragic because he's already killed the dad. But at the same time, it's kind of like, this is wartime, and morality proves tricky during wartime. So what are you going to do? Is she going to be a hindrance to you getting out of there? If you just leave her, is she going to starve? Is she going to die? It's, man, there's some really good questions with that one, and that's one of maybe the most, in terms of drama and what Rick has had to do here and the situation he finds himself in now. It looks, one thing I like a lot about this season, war is not so easy. What you say is like, okay, this is the right thing to do. You got to kill everyone out. You got to clear, like Morgan's doing. I'm kind of going back, like a couple years ago, I would say you got to kill everybody. You don't have a choice. But then it's like, you get to see Morgan, and so it's fun what they've done with Morgan. First, they show him in his kind of regular clear, right? You see clear, he's crazy, and then he kind of goes the other way, 100%, where he won't kill anybody. And then that doesn't really fit either, so he goes back to the clear mode right now. But then we're kind of finding, like, does that, can you even do that either, too? It really seems to be hard to kind of choose, what are you going to do here? Because killing everybody, it's like you're killing, parents, right? You're killing fathers, right, to newborns. You're killing, just some people that want to surrender. Then you have others that surrender, but they're actually, looking for their opportunity to try to get your gun away from you and to best you. Man, it's, really brings in some interesting, questions philosophically, and kind of plays with your empathy, plays with your morals as a viewer and what you would do, especially when he sees the baby there. And I also like that they chose to use Rick for that because, of course, with Judith and it kind of mirroring his own situation, but now he's killed this guy, and now what does he do? And oh man, it's it's really thought provoking for sure. But I think everybody would like to think that Rick is still the good guy and would take the baby with him. But man, if he goes the other way too, then he's following what he said to do as a leader. So it's one of those, I guess you could go either way with that one. There's reasons for him taking the baby with him and leaving, and there's reasons against it. Because if he doesn't do it, it's like, okay, well, maybe someone else will find her there. Maybe, you'd like to think that. But if they clear the damn whole place out, then there might not be anybody there. And if the elevator shaft and stuff and people can't get in, oh man, it's really, really tough one for sure. So write your comments below. Let me know what you guys think Rick will do. So do some predictions. I think he'll take her with him if he's able to kind of get away from Morales, or maybe Morales has to retreat or something. We're going to have to see how this all plays out. But hopefully Rick will take I think for fans, especially for the chickies, the moms out there, that Rick should take the baby with him. Because that's just, if he doesn't, it's like, is he still kind of that hero character, or he's got good intentions to beat Negan, but if he lets himself do morality is tricky sometimes. So being a bad guy has a lot of advantages, I suppose, when you just don't give a shit, when you just don't care, right? So tricky stuff, but write your comments below. Let me know what you guys think. I think he'll take the baby with him. Kind of feel like he has to. He's kind of obligated to now. Tricky stuff for sure. Luke T says, Q&A Trev, Morgan said, I never die. I really think he is going to die. So that's something, and I liked how they played in episode 2 with kind of the idea, is he already dead? And then we kind of find out he's not dead. He's a bit injured, but he's okay. That was really cool, man. That was really exciting in the second episode. I gotta say, man, this second episode was, when you think about all the things they put in it, like as we just talked about with the baby, and then with, the Morales stuff, and then all the action all throughout, it is such a loaded episode. You really, in terms of pacing, you could have stretched this guy out to a few episodes, really, and I don't think anyone would be complaining about the pacing. There was just so much there. It was just so well done, so crazy. So for Morgan surviving that instance, I think so. Kind of the I don't die thing. It's kind of his curse to still be alive after everything he's been through, and that, for him, he's just accepted at this point that everybody else dies, but he doesn't seem to. And I really like how they kind of play with that idea in the premiere, and how he just kind of seems to make it out of there for almost no reason, kind of seems to live, play dead, and then kind of gets up, or maybe he's unconscious for a minute and then he gets up. It was just from the blast or something. It's just really cool. So I really like that one a lot, but I do stand by my death predictions for this season, that I think later on, maybe you go mid-season finale, maybe you go next half season, that he will be one of the big deaths in All Out War. I still think he will, because I think his character's come full circle. I think we've gotten to see a couple different sides of him, and I think at this point he probably will his time will come to an end this season. I do think so, but I've really been enjoying what they've done with him in the series. If you want to talk about a character coming back, I mean, they went from he was gone, then he came back, and if they were to kill him off this season, I wouldn't be disappointed because I will feel like we got lots of time with Morgan. Lenny James killed it all the way through, and I do think he will still be killed off, even though I didn't really think it was going to happen here, right? I kind of felt like, okay, it'll probably happen later on this season. Right now it's kind of a fake out death, so to speak, but at least they showed it to us in the same episode. There was no dumpsters or anything, right? So that's good. And if you guys like this video, and I hope you did, man, leave those comments below. Let me know what you think about morality, the case with Rick, what does he do, and Morgan, and the past for Morales. What do you think? If you like this video, please thumb it up below. You can also share your favorite. And if you're new and you want to subscribe to the channel, I would appreciate it, and you could do it. Put on those subscribing pants at the bottom left. That's it for this one, guys. We'll see you again soon for another video tomorrow. Check out these other videos here if you guys didn't see all the videos we did this weekend, because we did lots. It's Trev, and I'm saying peace. See you guys soon.